Cavalier. Nope. Hey, Lauren, what's up? Hey, Dawn. How are you doing?
Hey, Jeremy. How's everything?
Just living through Flumageddon over here.
Oh, no, everybody?
Everybody but me.
Oh, goodness. It hasn't hit me yet. Like, knock on wood. My family's been all right.
Gosh, it's horrible. It is miserable.
Yeah, I don't know if the flu shot mattered. I have to get it because I work in pediatrics when I do home care. So I have to have it. Otherwise, I need to wear a mask all the time. So I just get the flu shot every year.
I know we have to do that too. Oh, well, I guess my corporate mandated flu shot's working because I haven't gotten the flu yet.
Yeah, last time I got the flu, I'm trying to think. It was a few years ago. I had the flu and pneumonia at the same time. That was fun.
Yeah, my dad's actually in the hospital right now. He had flu and it turned into pneumonia. So, yeah, it's fun.
I know it's like you're laying there, you can't do much, and then they just pump you full of albuterol, and your heart rate goes up, and you get tachycardic, and it's just
Sounds
like a
amazing.
big circle.
Sounds like so much fun. Oh goodness, I'm gonna give like 2-3 more minutes, and then we're gonna get started.
Sounds good.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry about last week.
Oh gosh, no problem. Stuff happens.
Yes, definitely does.
Stuff happens. I forgot to do. I've been doing video training every day at like 12:15 this week, and I just completely forgot to do it today. Like, got home and was like, oh yeah, I didn't do my video. So, oh well. Anyway, I'll do it later.
That's okay.
Need
You're
a
allowed.
boa tied to a dog, maybe. God, kids. Yeah. I went to lunch with a coworker and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't I didn't do my live video.
That's okay. Keep
Yeah.
everyone in suspense.
All right. We're gonna get started because it is 8:04 and I'm ready. So, all right, guys. So tonight we're gonna talk about launching your book. So I kind of have what's up, Ray? So I have the module on launching your book in the course already, but I'm actually going to change it quite a bit. and it's going to include what I'm going to talk about tonight. So tonight will be, still want you to watch that module, and if anybody watches the stuff, but we're going to kind of go off this and just kind of expand on it a little bit tonight. So let's see. There we go. So we're going to do like a little launch countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. And that's the way we're going to do this. So we're going to start at step 10. So step 10 is set a date for your book to be published. Hopefully we're doing the course, so let's set it for 3 months. If you're not going to do it in 3 months, that's cool. Just set a realistic timeline for when you want your book to be published. I will say, if you get on the phone with me and you tell me you want to have it published on May the 14th, I'm going to try to get you to publish it on April the 30th or something like that. Because it's just, that's what I'm here for, is to push you guys. And that's what I'm going to do. So step 10, set a date. Or step 1, if you want to go back and write it down correctly. Step 9 is get you a launch team, okay? So we need to have, this is something that I've talked about before, and this is in the course, is setting up a launch team for your book launch period, because you want to have people that are supporting you throughout this process. So you want to create a Facebook page for your launch team, and then start contacting your launch team as soon as you can. And the reason for that is, so we want to have people that are supporting you. So we're going to talk about how to get eyes on your book here in just a second. And we can do this on a small scale like we did with Amanda's book, and I'm going to show you all exactly what we did. Or we can do it on a huge scale. And it's the difference between small and huge is I don't have any with me money. Okay. So I don't have any. I'm in my son's room. There better not be any money in here. Oh, there's some. But anyway, it's the difference is money. Seriously. So you can we spent $120 on Amanda's book launch. And I'm going to show you what it did. And then, I mean, you could spend however much you want. So just depends. It also depends on your email list. Like Greg Todd has a 10,000 person email list. So obviously if he writes a book, he's sending it to all 10,000 people. Probably 1% of them are going to buy it. He's going to make $10,000 the first week. So bam, but I don't have a 10,000 person email list. I have about a 300, and some of us may not have any yet. So, and that's okay. So we want to create a Facebook page. It's going to be a private page, and you're going to start asking, family, friends, coworkers, patients, if you want to. I know some of you don't want to involve your coworkers or things like that. That's totally fine. For me, and when we launched our first book, and we did it, now that I'm looking back, we didn't do it anyway, like I'm teaching y'all, but we did do this part. So we ended up with 40 people in our launch team. Probably looking back, I would have liked to have had a lot more, but we ended up with 40 people in our launch team. And Ray, are you in an AutoZone? That's funny.
I'm at bowling. My old man bowling league tonight.
Bowling. Okay, good. Anyway, so get the launch team, start priming them to launch your book. So what I want you to do is you're going to post. So I have Mike Gable's book here. So you're going to be like, hey, this is the picture of the cover that we're thinking about doing. What do you think? And so hopefully that whoever's in your launch team is going to be people that are going to want to read this book, one. And then there's going to be people that are going to want to make you successful. So mom, dad, friends, cousins, brothers, uncles, aunts. If you're like my wife, you're Italian, you got 400 cousins and all this stuff. So anyway, that's what I want you to do with the launch team. And so you're going to put, like I said, I have Brianne Showman's book right here. She would, post this picture of her cover in the group, and then post the picture of the back cover in the group, and say, hey, what do you guys think of this? Do you like my cover? Do you think I should change this? Does it make sense? Is it legible? All that kind of stuff. Do you like the colors? All that cool stuff. And then start putting you can put your chapters in there, the whole thing, or you can put just little bits and pieces of it. Say, hey, does this make sense to you? The real reason is we don't really, let me say this right. We care what they think for sure. Like, why would we have them there? But we want somebody that buys into what you're doing, so they will promote your book when it's time. Okay. And that's something that we didn't do. We did share all this stuff, but I didn't harp on them enough. Like, I really need your support. And we didn't get a lot of it, to be honest with you. So What I would suggest doing with the launch team is to just give them a free copy of the entire book once it's finished, or as you do it, not a paperback. You know, I'm not going to ask you to buy 100 people a $3 book. Some of us aren't going to spend $300 to send books to people, but send them at least the digital copy, okay? And then you can do this in a form of sending them a PDF file, and then you can also say, hey, when we do our free promo, which we're going to do, buy the book there, and you get it for free, that you can read it on everything. So that's what we're going to do with the launch team. You really want to give them some promo material. So if you have some pictures of your book, you know, and whoever designs your cover, you'll have the book picture. You want to give them that. You want to make some posts on Canva, you know, some Facebook, Instagram type posts where they can post that on their social media. And I would just ask them for maybe one post a day, probably really one post that the week you launch it, or maybe one post. I'm sorry, guys, I can't talk. One post each week leading up to the launch. So if we do this 3 months out, then you would say, hey, we're going to launch my book on, let's just say May 1st. And I would really like for you to post my book maybe just one day a week until May 1st. And then, you know, let's just say starting 3 weeks out, because people are going to forget about stuff. And then on May 1st, just say, hey, this book's free. Love for you to go get it. Something like that. Okay. Guys, if y'all have any questions, just stop me as we go. So number 8, operation review. So we want to reach out to 1,000 people to ask for a book review. Okay. So this is something that we didn't do with Amanda's book, and we haven't done with Kristen or Angela's book, which we're about to launch on the free promo next week. So reach out to 1,000 people to ask for a book review. So yeah, that sounds like crazy, but it's only 30 people a day for 33 days. I have 4,500 and something Facebook friends. I mean, seriously, just reach out to 30 of them. You know, if some of them unfriend you, it's not a big deal. So, you know, if you listen to Will and Alex, how they teach, you know, hopefully you've been building relationships on social media. You have people to ask. Like, obviously, I'm going to ask my Facebook group of 700 people to write a review for my next book. Now, is everybody going to do it? Heck no. Is everybody going to see it? Heck no. But if you reach out to 1,000 people, about 300 people are going to say yes. Okay. Out of that 300, 100 people might write a review. So we're trying to if we can get 100 reviews, that is like phenomenal. I mean, it's really good. So if you can get 100 reviews, that's awesome. So this needs to be about 2 months before the launch, as you can see. But we really want to start, like, you can look at Javi Carlian. I think he's got 64 reviews on his book now. And I asked him, I was like, dude, what did you do? He's like, I just kept harping on people till they gave me the review. Like, I mean, he just kept asking. And so that's okay. Like, you know, he probably didn't offend anybody. If Dawn, if you tell me you're going to write a book review for me, and I said, okay. I said, okay, Dawn, it's going to be on Monday. You know, on Friday, I'm going to be like, hey, Dawn, did you write that review? No, I didn't. So maybe next Friday, I ask you again. You know, I'm not badgering you. I'm going to follow up with you. Ray can tell you guys this. Most of sales are not sold on the first thing. It's what, number 5 through number 10 follow up. I think I can't remember. Greg Todd told us the percentages one time. I can't remember what it is, but it's the fortunes in the follow up. So the more you follow up with people, the more they're going to do what you need to. Okay. So follow up with them. Hey, write my review. No, write my review. No, write my review. I'm going to be beating my dad down. Dad, write the freaking review. Your son needs to eat. Your grandkids want toys. Write a review, Dad. With the reviews, we have to be careful. Like, I want my dad to write a review, but if my dad and I have the same address, Amazon's going to know that we're in the same house. So they're going to be like, no, forget that. Thankfully, I'm 38 years old and I don't live with my parents. So if anybody does, I'm not knocking it. But, and then, you know, if I ask Monica, my wife, to write a review, that's not going to happen. They're going to flag it and say, no, Jeremy knows them. As a matter of fact, I can't write a review on David Bailiff's book, and I can't write a review on Kristen Fleming's book. Amazon will not let me. I have no idea why. Because I uploaded, did I do David's? David uploaded his own book. I don't remember, but I uploaded Kristen's and Angela's and Amanda's, or Kristen and Angela's books, and I could review Angela's and couldn't review Kristen. So it doesn't make sense. I may call Amazon. They're really good customer service, believe it or not. So we want to ask for reviews, but we don't want people to say, Oh my God, little Dawn. I just remember when she was 10 years old and she wanted to be a physical therapist and she wanted to help people with constipation. Like she just loved poop all the time. And like, this is great. I'm so excited to see her book. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Like Dr. Dawn did a great job explaining XYZ in this book. It's really helpful. I mean, don't coach people, but just tell them, hey, look, give me an honest review, but don't say, I remember when Jeremy was in 5th grade and had a chili bowl haircut. That's not good. It's not going to help. It was god awful too. So catchy categories is step number 7. So want to make sure we're in the best category. So this is Publisher Rocket from Dave Chesson, who canceled on me for the podcast because he had to make a what do you call it a surprise trip to Sri Lanka. I was like, dude, asked if they needed a physical therapist. They said yes, but I probably wouldn't enjoy the trip because there was a bunch of tech geeks. I said, I'd be right up my alley. I'd love it. So anyway, he's going to come on in March, on March the 5th. So 2 weeks from today, I'm going to have him on the podcast. This is his product. It's $98. I'm an affiliate. However, you don't have to buy it. I have it. If you want to buy it, do it yourself. Absolutely, go ahead. But don't buy it from him. Buy it from me so I can make some money on it. But if you want me to just figure out which category you go into, then I'll be glad to do that. We just don't text me the night of and be like, hey, I'm publishing this tonight. What category do I do? Because if you do that, it's going to be like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I'll do the best I can, but I can't promise anything. So, we need to know a couple of weeks out that you're getting ready to publish, in 2 weeks, and let me know and we'll find it. And so what this does, I wish I should have taken a screenshot of it to show you, but it's basically like a Google sheet, and it says keywords, and you type in a keyword and it shows you how many times somebody has searched for that keyword, how much competition that keyword has, other keywords just like it. It's basically like typing something into Google and it gives you the next 10, or typing it into Amazon, it gives you the next 10. And then it shows you categories, shows you every category. So with David Bailiff's book, we put it in some kind of like business training category. I can't remember exactly what the category was, but it was like he was number 1 in that category like this because there just wasn't a lot of books in there. And it was pertinent to his book. Like we put it in physical therapy too, I think, but we put it in that training category because it was a training. It's a mindset book. So it was perfect for that category. We're not going to try to find categories that you shouldn't be in, but if we can find some that are a little bit smaller that people aren't dominating, that we can dominate, then heck yeah, we're going to go in there and do that. So anyway, so that's what we want to do. We want to make sure we have a good category because with Amanda's book, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, she was in sports training and then exercise and fitness. Well, on day 1, she went to number 1 on sports training because this is during the free promotion. So in free Kindle, she was a number 1 all week. Okay. If we'd have left her book for free, it'd still be number 1 because it was just crushing it. But on the exercise and fitness, she was number 3 is as high as she got. And she went from 250 to 3, like as soon as we promoted it. But she was never going to hit number 1 because that book was selling 1,800 copies a day. Like, not say never. She might get to that status, but right now and this week, it just probably wasn't going to happen because we weren't driving enough traffic to it. Okay. So we want to get in a good category. You can put it in physical therapy. It's probably not the best one. I mean, you may want to do that for one of them. There's actually ways to get in 7 to 10 categories, and we'll talk about that later.
Jeremy?
Yeah. Go ahead.
When you mentioned like for Amanda that you didn't like promote it enough, is that when you decide how much money you want to put into
so
launching your book?
Absolutely. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. What's up, John? So there was some of this stuff that, like I said, I changed how I wanted to do this. Okay. So the book, anyway, I have a book. I have a book for you guys. Okay. I have 9 copies of this book in my living room. I'm going to mail them to you probably next week. Publish, Profit, Promote. It is amazing, and it changed the way that I'm teaching you guys this tonight. Okay. So if I would have read that book a month ago, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's an amazing book. It's like the E-Myth Revisited for you, Ray. It's like life-changing book. So, yes, it was just the money basically, Dawn. Like we could have spent, and I'll talk about this in another slide, but we could have spent a lot more money and had a lot more people in front of her book. So, all right. Make sure you're in the best category. Number 6, press publish. Okay, so we're gonna publish our book first in Kindle format. You can publish them paperback and Kindle at the same time if you want to, but we definitely want to publish Kindle. We don't want to wait for Kindle because we want to get that #1 new release that Kristen has on her book, that Amanda had on her book, that Angela has on her book, okay, that David had. We all want to get that #1 new release spot, because what does that do? It goes bling, 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 bling. This is a good book, okay? It's not the #1 bestseller, okay? You can call yourself a #1 selling Amazon author if you want to afterwards. That's fine with me. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. It's technically true. That's up to you. But we want that because that's a red light to Amazon that says, okay, people want this book. So it's just like Google. It's just like everything. If people want to see it, they show more people. Just like the Facebook algorithm. If you like my post, comment on it, Facebook shows it to more. So we're going to publish at 99 cents the first week. We're going to enroll in Kindle or KDP Select, and then we're going to plan to do that free promo on week 2. So, yes, sir.
I gotta go, guys. I haven't seen my wife in like 48 hours, and
you better go see her.
Yeah.
You have that sign.
I'll catch the rest on replay. Love you guys.
All right, man. Later.
Just got somebody very important to get to.
Yes, later.
All right. Have a good evening, guys. Thank you.
Perfect. So Kindle, KDP Select, we're going to do it 99 cents the first week. So the reason is we want some people to buy the book at 99 cents. Like, we're going to post this on every group we can. Smart Success Healthcare, Healthcare Self-Publishing Academy, wherever somebody's going to let you post this book. I'm going to post it in Mike Chua's group with 18,000 people, wherever we can get it. And we want as many people to buy and leave reviews. We need to get 10 reviews, okay? There's some sites that won't let you promote on their site without 10 reviews. So some don't care, but most want at least 10. So we want to get 10 reviews. It really shouldn't be that hard to get 10 reviews. If you know, 10 people that you can semi-trust, just say, look, give me a freaking review, man. I need it. Okay, so 10 reviews. Next thing is Saturday Night Fever. These are so corny. So on Saturday night so we're going to start the book, hopefully publish it on a Monday. It doesn't really matter that first week. You can do whatever you want. But you can even go 2 weeks for this, but let's just say we're going to do 1. So on Saturday night, we're going to bump the price up to $9.99 on the Kindle version. Okay. Now, we're not trying to make money. Nobody's probably buying your Kindle for $9.99 unless you're somebody well-known. Brendan Burchard, I'm sure, can sell Kindles for $9.99. I doubt he does, but we're going to put it at $9.99 because what happens is when you have a Kindle that's, say, $10 and you drop it drastically the next day or the day of the promotion, there's a lot of websites that send out promotions for your book just based on you drop the price. Okay, that's nothing you have to pay for. That's free. They're like, hey, Jeremy dropped his price from his book from $10 to free, and we want to put it in front of people. So that's why we're raising it up to $9.99 on Saturday, because we're going to lower it to $0 on Monday. Okay, so we're going to do, so we're going to do free. I showed you on this one. So we're going to drop it. We're going to put it up to $9.99 on Saturday. And on Monday, we're going to drop it to free. And you'll schedule this out on KDP Select. So you won't have to wait it till 7:00 Monday morning, jump up and do all this junk. You can set it for when you're going to do your promo. And I'll do a video on that later and put it in the course. So the next thing we're going to do is release our book, okay? So we're going to this is a press release. This is the one I did for Amanda's book. So you can see most of it over here. Looks very professional, has a big, highlighted title. And then where she's from has a picture of her book. And so you can see the statistics right here. We spent $34 on this. And so we had 61,000 people saw it. The headline, and 1,500 read the page. We only had 35 click-throughs, but anyway, we got eyes on it. Okay. Now, the one mistake, or the one thing I'll do differently, or I will advise you to do differently next time, is to do this 2 to 3 times. So you can spend that $34 on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. So Monday would say, free book between $210 and $214, and then I'm going to actually give y'all this press release because I basically went from a template. Okay. So I'll give you this one, and I'll give you the template as well. And this is on webwire.com. So webwire.com. and they actually give a template. So that's all I followed was their template. They have guidelines of what they want you to do. There's links in here that you can click and go to her book. So they suggest 2 or 3 clickable links in each press release. So this was the cheapest option that WebWire offered, was $34. And we had no idea how many people were going to see this. Obviously, let's just say 1,500 people read the page. I honestly don't know exactly what that means, but I'll look it up. Maybe they tell you. So we got that. There's a $200 option, a $375 option, and maybe a $300 option. And, obviously it increases as the price goes up, how many people see it. But we could do on day 1, we could say the book's going to be free. On day 2, and you're going to put book reviews and different things in there, and I'll show you all that later. But you could put on day 2 how it, where it was going and who all was seeing it. And then you could put on day 3, hey, we've hit #1 release in this category, or #1 bestseller in this category. Please buy it, get it today before it's not free anymore. So that's webwire.com. We did that. Okay. So the next thing would be to do free promos. So I want to show you all this. I think I talked to somebody about this today, Kristen Fleming. So this is, we're going to promote it on free websites and social media. So obviously Facebook, go to the search bar, type in book promotions, and go click on groups. Okay. And then you'll see book promotions, all those are the first 4 book promotions. Some of them say free book promotions, some of them say ebook promotions, some say Kindle crazy promotions. But I joined 16. I tried to join 25, but you can see one, they still haven't approved me, so it must not be for too many avid readers, because it doesn't look like they're checking it, because this was 2 weeks ago. But I tried to join 25 of them, ended up in 16 of them, and we promoted Amanda's book in all 16 of those every day. So obviously I have no idea no way of tracking that. So I don't know how many people saw it or whatever, but the one thing I did do, let me see if I have it on the next one. Nope. Okay, I took a picture of it and then I didn't put it in the slideshow. So one thing I did do was I just put it in the group, and from learning the algorithm on Facebook from Alex and Will, instead of putting the link in the post like everybody else does, I put a picture in the post, same picture that's right here, put that picture in the post, and then put link in comments. So anyway, have no idea how many people saw that, but I did post in 16 groups for the first 2 days, and then I can't remember after that. But I would suggest that you do that. That's the most time-consuming thing of this. I think it took me about 15 minutes every morning to do that. I mean, it's not really time-consuming. It's just kind of a pain in the butt, because you got to post the picture, then copy the body, and then copy the link and all that stuff. So you can do the lazy way and just put the link in the post, and that way you can only have to copy 2 things. But anyway, not very many people are going to see that. So on the right, or my right, you see these are free promotion sites: Inkit, Awesome Gang, Indie Authors. So this is on kindlepreneur.com. I can post a link later too. He has 127 sites that you can promote your book on. So if you want to go wild and really get a bunch of people see it, and you have time, or want to train a teenager to do it for you or somebody else, then get them to promote your book on you can put it on all 127 sites if you really want to do it. So a lot of these are free. There's another list on his website, on this page on the website, that lists the paid ones. I don't think any of us are going to be writing any erotica, so that doesn't really matter. But it shows the requirements, the price, and everything like that. And so Inkit actually does if their readers like your book, and this is only for fiction. So if anybody wants to write a fiction book later or now, they'll actually offer you a publishing deal if people like your book, if enough people do. So I thought that was pretty cool. Alrighty. So number 2, Money Talks. Promote on paid websites. Books, Butterfly, Free Booksy, and Digital Book Today are 3 of them. There's a ton more. So let's see. We paid Books Butterfly $100. So that was the most money we spent on this. And they were supposed to guarantee 1,200 downloads. However, They did not. We did not get 1,200 downloads on Amanda's book, unless she has this week. I don't know. It's not free anymore. So they have a money back guarantee. And then I read it further, and it was you get credits to their website. So I actually was looking tonight to see if there was any evidence or report that they give you, and I couldn't find one. So I'm going to be emailing them tonight and say, hey, how do I know how many people downloaded my book? And if they comment back and say, oh yeah, we had 1,205 people, then I'm going to say you're a scam, and we'll stay away from them forever. But Free Booksy, no, Digital Book Today had a $15 deal because it was Valentine's week, and I think it's usually $34. So we did the $15 thing, and it was 23,000 email list and a tweet to 400,000 followers. That's what they did. So pretty big, but again, we don't have the exact results on that. And then the last thing is to have a successful launch. And so Amanda had over 500 books downloaded that week, which, I mean, has anybody else sold 500 books? I mean, like that's successful for the first week. I mean, that's successful for anything. But the reason that we do this is we want Amazon to send people to your book. Now, you can do paid ads. We can talk about that another time, but we want it to say, hey, this is a good book. And then we have social proof that her book was #1. Okay. So I took a picture of this, a screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot of everybody's freaking book because I'm going to be looking at it 3 times a day, at least the first 2 weeks. And then every time I think about it after that. But we'll get screenshots and say, hey, look, here's her book. It's #1. You see she had 18 reviews at this point. I think she has 24 now. So the cool thing is about this free promo is people look at your book, and it's actually a good book, and they actually write a review for it. So the first, 10 people that wrote her book for Amanda were people that we knew, people in SSPT or family or whoever. But the next 14 were just people that bought the book, which is awesome because then you start to validate that you actually wrote a good book, and it's just such a confidence booster, and it's crazy. So, and now I have, I think, 40 copies of Amanda's book in my bedroom. I think my wife's probably about to make me start sleeping with these books because every day a book comes to our door. But she sent me 40 copies that she bought for me, and we're going to start handing those out to CrossFit gyms. There's one here in town that actually has like 6,000 Facebook followers. And then they actually have, it's called Christ Fit Gym. So it's a Christian ministry based gym. And they actually have gyms in other states. So they're actually really big and growing. So I'm going to take about 10 copies to them. And I'm going to take some copies to other CrossFit gyms around here and just see kind of what their response is to them and kind of check back in with these guys later just to see, hey, did your people like this and things like that. So that's what we're going to do with her book. And we can do the same thing with everybody's book. So anyway, so there's that. And then the next thing is just if you guys have questions about this. I ran through it pretty quickly, but because I don't like to waste y'all's time.
I don't have questions, but because I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I know, and I don't, and really nobody is, but some of y'all are getting close. I wish Ray was still on because I wanted to show him this, because I thought he looked like Darth Vader today in front of his chair, but
he did. There was like a foreboding look with that sign behind him.
Yeah, that's horrible. So we have 3 lightsabers in our house. If you want to go absolutely crazy, just bring your kids some lightsabers. So yeah, guys, if y'all have any questions about this or really anything, it doesn't have to be about the launch. I know each one of you are kind of in different phases with your book. But if you have questions, let's go ahead and we'll open it up to any kind of questions you may have. Comments, judgments on my character or my looks, whatever you want to do. Just unmute and start talking. Go ahead, Buffy.
I think, does it make sense if for educating healthcare providers, and it's cool Dawn's on here, she knows the pelvic PT thing. We find that providers know very little about pelvic health.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the exact same content that I would write for a patient would still be incredibly informative and helpful for a healthcare provider.
Mm-hmm.
Like just doing the foundations and the basics, because they know nothing.
Right.
And so I was talking to my husband, I'm like, if you did a book like that as a professional, should you try to create a separate edition that's just targeted towards healthcare providers?
I wouldn't.
You know what I mean? Like
No,
slightly.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
So the only way I would do that is if you were going to give them. No, there's no way I would do it. I wouldn't do it. I don't even want to talk about that because it's good. Because like you said, they don't know. Let me tell you something. I got a patient today. This is what her ICD-10 code was: Z00 zoo.00. And it was what was it? Healthcare maintenance was the name of that ICD-10 code.
Would their insurance even pay for that?
I don't care, because I'm working for somebody else. It don't matter. So
yeah, you're right.
But you know it. So her and on the eval it wrote this is what the doctor wrote. This is what a freaking medical doctor wrote: stooping posture and inverted left ankle.
Wow.
Never heard of an inverted left ankle. I mean, seriously, like so. Yes, just write the same book and give it to them. Just do it. Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like I literally, as you're talking about how to outline, I feel like it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna fall into place because I know exactly. It's just a matter of what stories to interweave with the information.
I tell you what, if you want to do something special, just let's just like make a little box. And it'll be just like inserting a picture into your book, and we'll just insert that box. It'll say provider portal or something like that. Yeah, that's a great idea. So you could be like provider. Oh man, I like it when that happens. So you could do like provider portal, and then you could say, here's a link, click on this link and go to more in-depth knowledge for the healthcare provider. And then you could have a link to your website. And then that's another, we're serving people, we're getting them enshrined into what you do.
That's the thing. I mean, that just the brilliance of, that whole Pat Flynn book scenario. I think John, you were hearing me talk about it last time, of where like you're just reading the book and it's like, go to this website, print out this PDF, this worksheet, and it just takes you right to his website. And so you could even, if you wanted to talk to providers too, you could even have a separate landing page for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And since I work very closely with my website person and we're always changing and modifying, I kind of realize this is like a website build out too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these books, so I talked to some guy today, his name was Jeremy too in Tulsa. He's like owns a HEP program. And he's like, well, what are the books good for? I was like, getting you in places that you couldn't get into without it. I mean, like, seriously, guys, Karen Mall made $2,000 in a 2-week period off of her book because she gave it to somebody for free. Like, this was at a nursing home that she had been in multiple times and left her business card and never heard anything from them. And then she leaves her book with them. And 2 weeks later, she's made $2,000. And so these books are just lead magnets or lead generators to get people into your world. I mean, yes, we're going to
it's also authority.
People. Yeah.
Huge authority builder, because you can't say, see you, buddy. You can't say that, so I've got one kid at dance at 6, the other kid at 6:45. So we just amazing. Chill.
Yeah, I understand. Hail to the mothers.
You're good, right. But yeah. I lost my train of thought because of this dude.
Authority.
Oh, but yeah, the authority part. Because even if you have a lot of competition as a provider in your area, who else has written a book?
Not many. 1% of the U.S. population that wants to write a book has written one. Not 1% of the population, 1% that wants to write it. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Buffy.
Go ahead, Buffy, one of the things that I could say from like the past courses I've been on, like when I just took the pediatric GI course, like what Dawn Saldacini like had as recommended reading were books that were geared towards families, but she read them herself and then she recommended it as a book for the kids that she sees, and then she recommends it also for us to read it, so then we could recommend it to the kids that we see. So when you write something that's patient friendly, it's kind of like, then you just help the referral kind of keep going also.
Well, and you can also help other providers by having resources for them to give to their patients too. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like one book that the name's escaping me now, but it was like, you know, like the main one that was written, there's only maybe like 2 kid-friendly books like about like what the bowel thing does, and like for kids and for parents to read, not a children's book. That's like another whole nother thing. But yeah, it was like amazing how much this book has been recommended out just because no one really else has written anything.
Seriously.
Yeah. And guys, listen, Monica's internal medicine doctor that she's had for probably 15 years. When I went to him, and I've since gained the weight back, but my blood pressure was high and I need to lose. He's like, dude, just lose some weight. I'm not going to put you on medicine. I was like, perfect. Sounds good. So I lost 30 pounds, but he actually had taken this book that another physician had written. And I actually have the book somewhere, and he condensed it down into about 12 pages. And that's what he handed me. So he's handing me like a PDF, but if we could give him a book to hand people, you know, that'd be even better. So, I mean, you're doing stuff that doctors don't do. Like, and that's the whole point, is like, it's the authority builder, and that's why we're doing this. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the doctor's probably not going to read it anyway, Buffy. I mean, they don't read your notes that you write. They might read your book, some of them, but yeah, I would just write it to the patients. I mean, they're the ones that are going to do it.
But it's so sad. John and I are in a really funky position with the providers we work with, because we hear so many messed up things from the patients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we realize how little they know and how crappy of advice they're giving with authority.
Yeah, I know.
To their patients.
Yeah, absolutely. It's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. When they write in stooping posture, yeah, that's not good.
Right. I can't wait for Dawn's book. If you knew, oh my gosh, if you get her going clinically, she is amazing. She's brilliant.
Good. I need to get on a call with her and put a fire under her butt then.
Yes, you do. I know. I'm actually torn between writing a book about kids now or writing a book about adults. I keep changing my map.
I think you align it, Dawn, let's align it with what you're going to decide to do this week.
I know. I have big decisions. I have to finally like make a choice.
She has 5 gigs. She needs to whittle them down.
So
I work 5 jobs.
You're ridiculous.
That's 5.
So y'all know, I'm just going to call her name. Chantal, is that her name? Chantal Traub? Is that how you say it? Chantal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So like I talked her out of buying the course because she's doing like 500,000 different things. And I really I was like, gosh, I think I could talk her into it. And so this is where I'm telling you guys, like, I'm honest with everybody. Like she just needed like a little push and she would have bought it.
Yep.
Because her husband was gone. I could have talked her into it. Her husband wasn't anywhere around. So, but I was like, look.
We talk with her every day.
I know, yeah. So that's good. And she was like, I really want to do it with Buffy and Dawn. But I think Nicole is thinking about doing it next time. So she'll come in with Nicole Tetro. So anyway, I was like, Chantal, it sounds like you got too much going on. Like, I really want to like have you as my student. But she just had a lot going on. So we can't focus on 5 different things. Of course, I know sometimes you got to have 5 jobs. I've been there and done that. So still doing it. But anyway.
No, I need to say no. And I'm going to make my decision by Sunday.
Good. So Monday, I'm texting you and be like, hey, what's your book on? Kids or adults? Old farts or young farts? All right. You're welcome. Don't anybody fart on video. So
just saying that to a pelvic PT is hilarious.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I didn't even know. See, I'm oblivious. All right. What else? Any other real questions? Or unreal ones?
If we're in the I know John, I don't know where you're at, but if we're in the beginning stages, you're saying the best way is I haven't started dictating. And I'm afraid that I'm so visual, like I talked to David Bailiff. I'm afraid that I'm so visual that I might not do well trying to dictate. I might be able to dictate sections, but then have to like pop them into the visual
The dictate
outline.
sections. Lauren, you're next, by the way. The dictate sections. It's fine. Just do what you need to do. Don't even listen to what I say half the time. It doesn't matter. You know your personality.
Okay, so if we put it in Google Docs, that's sufficient for right now.
Yeah, you can put it in whatever. You can write it in chalk on the sidewalk if you want to.
It's not like you're like, oh no, use this program. Okay.
No, good. So listen, with the book I just finished for somebody, we could not get the pages. Like, I'm not a Microsoft Word wizard. Okay, just telling you right now. So I could not get the book to format with. I wanted the pages on the right hand side, the chapters. Because I don't want you to be like, oh, was that chapter 1 over? Oh, yeah, chapter 2 is over on this side. I wanted you to be able to see this is chapter 2. And we couldn't get it. We couldn't get the page numbers right. And so finally, I paid a guy $100 to format the freaking book because it would be done the next day. And I needed it to be done because I've been working on it for several months. And I want to send it to the guy so they can look at it. But so put it on Google, put it on Microsoft. I don't care where you put it. We'll figure it. We'll fix it. Now you can, I can format most of things. It just, for whatever reason, we just could not get this book to work right. But you can pay somebody $10 on Fiverr or $20 on Fiverr to do it. So
Huge fan.
Don't worry about that. We ain't doing that.
I found a great video editor if anybody needs one through Upwork.
Oh, sweet.
They were great.
Yeah,
$14 an hour. She was amazing.
Jesus. Yeah, I want that.
She even animated the intro and from just images.
Yes. I just lost my VA, so I'm going to hire my sister as my VA. She has 2 master's degrees and she's not working right now. So I'm going to teach her how to edit podcasts and do everything. And I'm just going to pay her monthly to be my VA. All right, Lauren, what you got?
As far as the timeline for everything, is there, I guess I'm worried that I'm getting behind, even though
You're not. Go ahead.
Because I don't know when I should have certain parts figured out or done. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you got like 5 chapters done?
Yes.
You're not behind. Anybody else got 5 chapters done? Nope. Okay, good. You're not behind. So I would say that you and I need to get on another call and set a timeline for your book. Or we can, so just, decide when you want your book done. And let's just say May 1st, just for instance. And so you've got 5 chapters done. It's February the 20th. So we got a month, 2 months, and, a few days left, March, April. Let's say you want 10 chapters. So you need to let's do one more chapter, a chapter a week for the next 5 weeks. And then spend a week or 2 editing the chapters, make sure you like them. And then we create a book cover, create a KDP account about 2 weeks out or a week out, publish the book, put the book on KDP 1 to 2 days before you want to actually, let's say 3 days before you actually want it published, because it can take up to 48 hours. The Kindle versions usually are done the next night, but no, I mean, you're not behind at all. Does that make sense, Lauren?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. I guess I'm visual in the sense that I don't mind a timeline, but if I don't know when I have to have it done, I feel like I'm kind of scrambling and haphazardly putting things together. So I just kind of wanted to make sure that I had something in mind as far as like the timeline that I should be thinking about this or that. I'll
tell you what I'm going to do for y'all. I'm going to make a timeline grid, because I've given you, like, we just gave you this launch timeline. We're giving book timelines. I'm just going to make like a giant grid that tells you when everything needs to happen. That way y'all all have it. I'll try to get that done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get that done by the end of the week, Lauren. And I'll post that in the group. Yeah, just set a date that you want to have it done by. And remember, this is not a hard deadline. This is a date that it's a deadline. But I want you to hit it, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world. But just to give you some visualization of, like if I'm digging a ditch, I don't want to. I used to have to dig stuff, help my dad. I don't want him to say just start digging until I come tell you to stop. No, I want to see where the end is, because I know if I can halfway do things, I could halfway do it to the wall over here, but I'm gonna have to work hard if it's all the way to my neighbor's house. So I'm like you, Lauren. I want to see the end. So just set a date and then reverse engineer it from there.
I like that. I'm that person. If you give me a deadline, I do much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else, Lauren?
I think that's it for now.
Lauren's on that. I just moved and I'm dying.
So I just moved to a new apartment over the weekend, and working a full-time job and moving by yourself, it's just a lot of stress. So
yes,
I'm still unpacking boxes, and I have a full day, 8 evals and stuff tomorrow, so I'm trying not to stay up too late.
Yeah, God bless you. That's fun. That's so much fun. I've moved 41 times in my life, by the way. So it's amazing. I hate it.
It's been like 41 in a year, so I'm hoping to be record real soon.
Oh gosh, that's horrible. Perfect. Yeah, so I'll do that timeline grid and I'll get that to y'all by the end of the week. Perfect. What else, guys? Any other questions? John, you got anything? You're good. Perfect. Dawn, anything else? Buffy? Smile so I can see you, Buffy. No, just kidding.
Sorry, I'm good. I know it's dark.
No, just mess with you. All right, guys. Y'all have an amazing night. I'm super proud of everybody. I cannot wait to be holding y'all's books. Look, one day I'm going to be holding your book in my hand, interviewing you on the podcast going, oh my gosh, how'd you write this book? Who helped you? No, I'm just kidding. Awesome. All right, guys, y'all have an amazing night. Next Thursday, we'll do it again. And guys, set up some phone calls. If we had Buffy, you and I need to get on the phone. Dawn, you and I need to get on the phone. Lauren, let's get back on the phone, get you a deadline. John, start writing your book. We'll get on the phone again, not at 5:30 though. All right, later, guys. Love y'all. Why can't I do it? There's comments.